Okay, this is a 39 gallon. It has a kit for making the land section here. All that means is there's a pump and there's a creek, and it goes into, I have about 10 gallons of water here. There's some water plants that are under the water. I have 2 newts. These are Oregon newts, and Oregon newts have a lot of character. That is, they have a lot of personality. They crawl around, swim around all the time, day or night. And it can vary. I have 2 of the same gender, and I'm not certain which, but there have been no offspring, so I believe they're both female. But anyway, one stays in the water almost all the time, and the other one spends almost all of its time on the land. And they get along fine, so it's not like one's bullying the other. I also have in this aquarium 3 tree frogs. And this one here, the very large one, right on the stick, he is extremely fat. He's like Jabba the Hutt, and I believe that he has learned how to fish. He's hanging out. I've never witnessed it, but he is just so fat. I think he's gorging himself on the guppies. And definitely the toads. I'll show you the toads. They've figured that out as well. The newts also obviously eat the fish. And if you've kept up on my other videos, this little guy is the tree frog that we raised. You can see that in some of my earlier videos. He's doing pretty good in here. He's a little bit on the thin side, and I'm worried that he might not be aggressively getting the crickets before the other ones do. And that doesn't mean that this guy's eating them all, because I spread them around and kind of make it equal opportunity. But anyway, this guy's gotten so fat, I think it's because he's eating fish on top of the crickets. Third tree frog is up there in the corner, and that's common that they hang out and sleep. They sleep during the day, and they're actually kind of a boring pet to have because they're just a lump of flesh in a corner. They just sleep all the time. You don't see them. But if you look in there at nighttime, you come in late, you can watch them. They are absolutely cooler than anything because they are like Spider-Man. They climb and bounce all over the place, and you put in a bug, they are incredibly accurate with jumping and pouncing right on top of it. So I mean, the kids call him Spider-Man. This water circulates. It does have a heater, but it also has mainly the main source. It is set up to have a filter there if you'd like it to. I don't even do that. I just have the water recirculating, and I change out this moss about every, I would say I change the moss about once every 2 months, 2.5, 3 months. For whatever reason, I get this. This is newly put in moss. Change the light so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, and it's just absolutely gorgeous moss I've got from the woods off of rocks. It peels right off, and I put it right in here on top of the gravel. And I don't know if it becomes a little too dry or too much light. But anyway, I'm not doing things just quite right that it thrives. It perishes after about 3 months, and then I replace it with some new moss, and I go to the woods again. Kind of repeat that cycle. But it looks gorgeous right now. It's a good setup for everybody. I have 2 fire-belly toads in here somewhere. If you see this, this is one of my Oregon newts that likes the land. He's right there, and underneath the bridge, I'm sorry, underneath the creek where he's going to, you see in the water the fire-belly toad. And they are characters. They are a really nice toad to get from the pet store. Very easy to take care of, but beware, this is a serious time commitment. These things can live, these toads can live to be 22 years old. So you can give them back. I imagine the pet store would allow you to give them back to them if you burn out or your kids grow up or whatever. I don't mind. I don't know if I'm going to, it might outlive me. But anyway, they're really cool because they're green and black on the top, and they are orange and black on the bottom. They're fire-belly toads because they do excrete a poisonous, mildly poisonous substance off their back. It doesn't hurt people. unless you would happen to have a cut. And it can be bad for the other animals in there, but it only happens when they're extremely agitated. I've never had any other creature die and perish from it, though, with the exception of mantella frogs. But mantella frogs are extremely difficult to take care of. They're absolutely gorgeous if you look those up. Very expensive, too. But anyway, so this is a neat setup with the running creek. It's very it is very moist, very humid, and it's great for these plants. And the sticks have been cut off. They fell off the trees in my backyard, and I cut them just right for the tree frogs to climb around on. And we've got raising fancy guppies, and they multiply like crazy. Of course, their excess offspring are eaten by the frogs and newts. So the circle of life is taking place in my aquarium. Nice little ecosystem here. It's very relaxing. It lowers your blood pressure to look at it. It's just a nice touch of green in the house, even in the dead of winter. Anyway, so it's a lot of fun. What you have to do to maintain these things is you have to get a siphon and you pump out the poop, the fish poop, from in between the gravel just by sucking up the water through that. And you do that, I don't know, maybe every few weeks. It depends on you. I mean, sometimes I let it go way too long. It might be a month and a half, but it should be done more regularly. If you put in a filter with charcoal, that you can get by and do it a little bit longer. But I like to keep it nice and clean looking. It's pretty nice looking now. We got a little bit of evaporation here, and that looks kind of ugly, but you can wipe that clean. But I just wanted to show this and show it off and share people, give people ideas. There are some really incredible terrarium ideas that other people have done, but it all depends on how much time you sink into these things, how beautiful they come out. So I've taken the screen off. I'm going to try to pour some crickets in there, see if we can watch them eat a little bit. See if I can get these crickets in there. Okay, he is trying to go after it. And that was lunch for him. Well, what is really cool about tree frogs is they have the ability to change like a chameleon. They can go brown or gray or slightly green. And the one sitting on, this is a gray tree frog, by the way. They have a little bit of yellow coloration in between their on their inner thighs. And this is a nice pattern it has on its back presently. I'm glad the little guy got a nice cricket to help him catch up with his body weight. They're slow, cold-blooded pets. They don't move a whole lot except for when they're chasing down food, and I'm afraid that wasn't a very good show. But at least, ooh, there's another one. Let's see if we get a repeat performance here. It's way back there. I don't know if I'll be able to film this.